Yes. I should be getting ready for work, but this information came to my attention that it's so important, it's so key that I felt like I had to make a video about it. So Trump was at a outdoor rally in Raleigh, North Carolina. Made some comments reference to the death of Michael Real Noel, Antifa activist allegedly killed Aaron J. Danielson, 39, a pro-Trump supporter, over the summer in Portland, Oregon, and was a fugitive from justice. Ryan Noel told Vice that he was providing security for Black Lives Matter protesters and acting in self-defense. He said, I could have sat back and watched him kill a friend of mine of color, but I wasn't going to do that, he said shortly before his death. Killed September 3rd, Lacey, Washington, by the Federal Fugitive Task Force only hours after a warrant was issued in second-degree murder in Danielson's death. Their stated mission peacefully arrest him, but the encounter ended with more than 30 bullets being fired at Ryan Noel. They insisted to a statement that he produced a firearm, threatening the lives of a law enforcement officer, and justified their use of force. However, Trump contradicted the official narrative, suggesting he was killed without the benefit of being allowed to surrender peacefully. Quote, we sent him in the U.S. March, took 15 minutes, it was over, they got him, as the crowd cheered. They knew who he was, they didn't want to arrest him, and the 15 minutes, I guess he's saying in 15 minutes that ended. It came only days after the New York Times story calling to doubt whether he pulled a gun on law enforcement. At the time of death, 380 was found possession was in his pocket. 5 eyewitnesses told the New York Times U.S. Marshals immediately used service weapons. Garrett Lewis saw the exchange while trying to get their 8-year-old son away. I respect cops to the utmost, quote, but things were definitely in no way, shape, or form done properly. He added there were no warnings sent. Quote, there was no get out of the car, there was no stop, there was no nothing. Just got out of the car and started shooting. Other witnesses agreed and claimed the law enforcement just started to shoot. There's no yelling, there's no screaming, there's no alteration, they went straight to gunshots. Trump previously told Fox News of retribution. The guy was a violent criminal, quote. U.S. Marshals killed him. I'll tell you something, that's the way it has to be. There has to be retribution when you have crime like this. Let me see, make sure I've said everything. All right, let's talk. I'm a socialist. I'm on the left. I'll give you my little context, my little biases, my implicit biases that I have. So obviously, I'm no friend to white supremacist groups, but I don't support murder. I'm a gun owner. I own an AR-15. A little rusty, gotta get it fixed. We got a Mossberg shotgun, 12 gauge, Glock 17, 22 rifle, and I got a good number of ammunition for the shotgun and for the Glock. I need to get some more 223 ammo. I don't follow American entertainment. Like I'll watch Star Trek and stuff like that, but I don't follow American entertainment. Don't watch American news. Like I might watch MSNBC, certain people like once a week. Really. Don't listen to American music. I was against the Iraq War. I'm now against the Afghanistan conflict. Doesn't matter, you know. I was against Obama trying to take out Gaddafi. I think that was wrong. I'm against assassination of American citizens. I didn't like it when Trump sent AC-130 gunships over to, I think it was Jordan, for a SEAL operation that failed. Got a SEAL killed. I don't think he should be using stuff like that against countries you're not at war with. Like them using a sledgehammer to kill a ant. It's gonna tear shit up. Like if I had an ant here, I try to use a sledge. I'm gonna fucking tear the room up. Shit. I'm gonna run a sledgehammer into this wall, see what happens. Shit. I didn't agree with Trump's assassination of General Soleimani. I think that was a war crime. I think the International Criminal Court should not have been attacked, should not have been threatened by the U.S. government. That shows you a lot about the conduct of this government, the unlawful nature of it. Yeah, so let's just say I live in America, but I'm not down with this shit. I just live here. I work under the flag. That's it. I have no confidence in this government, this administration. I'm on the left. I'm a socialist. And as time goes, it's weird because as time goes, I get older, I realize more like that when Trump talks, when he talk about elderly people need to die for the economy, like I realize more and more the danger of this extreme capitalistic exploitation. Like I realize, like it's not like as time goes by, like I make money, I'm like, okay, I'm doing better now. Like, no, I realize that these people are just like me that are being hurt. Like I realized that this empire can't be reformed. It has to end. Whatever it looks like at the end of the day, it has to be ended. I'm not advocating violence against anybody or anything. I am simply acknowledging that I have a system that's not working, and it's getting more and more violent as time goes by. It's like the American government is like a junkie. The first time you take crack, what I've heard, that reaction is never the same. You have to take more of it to get high, right? That's what the American government does as far as foreign policy. It's waning. People don't respect the American government. People didn't respect it before Trump, but especially not now. And because of that fact, they're getting more violent. And now, domestically, they're getting more violent as well. I'm a socialist. Once again, I'm not advocating violence. There's a lot of people out here who feel the same way I do. Have retreated. I mean, that's why I've never been to these. I mean, I went to Occupy in Charlotte when I was like 2014, I think. I went to Occupy. Yeah, I didn't do anything, but I haven't been to a rally because it's hard for me to attach myself with like the protests in America, because I guess it's kind of like everybody in America is a junkie, and they've been taking drugs for 3 years, and I've never taken drugs, and I'm sitting back and I'm like, man, this isn't normal. Yeah, it's like, this is not like what you guys are doing. It's not normal. Like years ago, you guys had an apartment and shit. Now you're like sleeping on the steps of somebody's, fire escape or something. I'm like, do you realize this is messed up? That's the American people. Like America's always at war, and that's wrong. We're always at war. We're always attacked. We're searching the world for monsters, and that's wrong. We got a lot of problems here. We got shithole states. I said it. I want to talk about people overseas. That's what they do. They've got to always, America is better than those people. This is what division is. These statements Trump made about U.S. Marshals not wanting to arrest suspects are but another example of an American people who have largely accepted the move towards fascism. This is dangerous. This is dangerous shit I'm talking about. That a president comes out publicly and says, hey, yeah, he was against my guys. We had to take him. We had to get him. This is that, and no one even cares. I mean, look, my red flag moment. My red flag moment is when I heard Trump say about Proud Boys to stand back but stand by. That was the moment to where I knew without a doubt this is a white supremacist president. Period. Reading this, it's icing on the cake. The cake's already there. Cake's already been baked. Cake done cooled already. You put icing on it. I just feel like it's really sick stuff. It's a really sick country. That comment alone would have. I mean, I just think about Obama. Could Obama have gotten away with saying he was the king of the Jews? Not, excuse me. Yeah, he was the king and all this stuff and the savior. No. Could Obama have gotten away with talking about liberating states? I mean, I remember Texas was like they were going to do away with the TSA, and Obama was like, "Well, we'll ring the state with F-16s. No one can get in or out." There were problems, but Obama never made it about putting people's lives in danger. I don't remember that. I don't remember Obama ever making it personal. Trump has, from almost day one, made his politics personal. And it's dangerous. Once again, going back to it, I'm a socialist. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not trying to fix the democratic system. I'm not interested in that. This is an example of why. Because we're dealing with a system. I talk about often. I live and work around dinosaurs, right? I talk about how their time is over. This right here is some dinosaur stuff. This is. If we can't get our way, we should just be able to go and kill people. In some ways, I'm a radical. But once again, I'm advocating violence. I've never advocated violence even in private. There's a lot of people like me on the right and on the left who are a few steps back from American society. I'm gonna put it that way. Few steps. I'm further back than a few steps. Trust me, but there's a lot of people like me. I watch RT. I watch fucking Russia Today news. You understand where I'm at right now? I don't believe the system can be fixed. And a lot of people feel the same way. But they're violent. They're already on the streets with the guns. Trump publicly saying that he's using federal law enforcement to kill dissidents is dangerous and could get cops killed. I want to be very clear about this. If I believed law enforcement was out to get me, I don't. If I believed that the president or someone was sending law enforcement to kill me for something I did, I would defend myself. There's a lot of people that don't like cops. A lot of folks out here that are doing criminal stuff. I'm neither. I don't hate police. You have a lot of people who cooperate with police investigations. They don't tell you that, do they? A lot of these murders and stuff, people cooperate. Why? Because this community respects the police. That's right. You have all your DNA and stuff. That's great. That's great. But people, they respect law enforcement. They recognize law enforcement has a proper role in a free society. We don't want law enforcement to be politicized. No one wants that. That's federal or anybody else. But if police can't be everywhere. If you start politicizing law enforcement and you make law enforcement into a sort of a commissar force, cops will die. Cops will die. There's no question about it. You're gonna need the SWAT team to just do knock and talks in fucking South Park. Yeah, that's what'll happen. You're gonna get some dead cops, and it's not because people want to kill police. It's because you've scared people enough to believe that when this policeman comes to my door, I may not get a day in court. Are there cops who are political? Yes, I read Police One every day. I read the comment page more. I go on Cedar Post, which is a police blog. I used to go on officer.com. That's not so much activity now. Why? Because I learned after Charlottesville that Trump was, I think he got rid of, Obama had some kind of team to investigate white supremacy. Trump had that removed. And I started to realize then that, hey, this is not right. You know, like, wait a minute. You had Las Vegas shooter. You had the synagogue Tree of Life shooter up in Pittsburgh. You had the shooting in 15 of those black people at that church in South Carolina. And you're telling me you crackers can't figure out that there's some white supremacist activity going on? Now I realize that that's what Republican Party is. Like the idea after Charlottesville, the idea of Lindsey Graham and them making Trump like do the right thing. That's not what Republican Party is anymore. So now I understand on my own. Now I understand that yes, law enforcement is a tool of white supremacy. Yes, I understand that now. That's when I started, reading this stuff and understanding that. As the FBI report that came out a few years ago said, you have white supremacists that have infiltrated law enforcement. And they've had cases that come out about cops in the Klan and stuff. I think Portland, you had police communicating with white supremacist group, Patriot Prayer. Yeah. It's very real. And so, of course, there's cops that feed into that and go along with it. You know it and I know it. But if the president is making an active step towards that. We're not, this is not like closeted stuff. If the president is openly saying that, hey, this is the way we deal with our political enemies now. We just kill them. You just shoot them down. If something else too that gets me. I remember Alex Jones back in the day. He used to talk about how this is not third world. This is not Eastern Europe. We don't have people like going through the mail and masked men in the streets. Like, it's amazing to me with Trump that whole bullshit about America being the city on the hill, every day, like, we get more evidence showing you, like, how this country really is. How divided and how racist this country. Like, every day, like the Central Park thing where the woman called the police with a black man. Basically, she was basically saying, you can record this. And I'm going to show you what side the police are on. Like, every day as a black man. Every day I realize more and more, like, you're shown. Like, I knew this, but you're shown what America is and what it always was about. And they'll be like, oh, well, that shows people up north. They're, even with liberals. No, it shows you that white supremacy doesn't know a time zone. That, like the black man at the Starbucks in Philadelphia, that this stuff shows you like white supremacy is more than just an area code or a time zone. It's so much bigger than that, and the problem is much more pervasive than that. I think Trump's putting police lives in danger. I get it. A lot of cops don't care. I get it. A lot of cops support Trump. I get it, man. Whatever. That's cool. I got it. I understand. You're going to get cops killed. And what's so bad about it is you're going to have cops killed who aren't even doing this. You're going to have cops killed who are just trying to... Because I used to be a conspiracy theorist. I know how that works. Conspiracy theorists take like a little bit of truth and run with it. Like, they'll take like one cop do something. They're like, oh, see, all cops are pedophiles. And that's what that is. They'll take one little thing and run with it. You're going to have people out here who read this article, who read this article right here about Trump doing that, and they're gonna run with it, and they're gonna have like some fucking misdemeanor warrant for fucking jaywalk, and they're gonna have some fucking warrant for DUI or something, or failure to appear, and they're gonna say shit. The cops are here to kill me, and they're gonna, remember Richard Poplowski? He was in Pittsburgh years ago. I think he had like living with his mom or something. Dogs were barking, and Police came out there. He killed like 4 police officers. I think he was an Alex Jones listener. Remember that? Yeah, that's what happens. Well, this is shocking. I actually found information on this guy because you would think I wouldn't have remember my memory shit. You wouldn't think I would remember this guy's name, but bam, that was the guy. That was the guy. Richard Poplowski, suspect and officer shooting was into conspiracy theories. This was April 5th, 2009. Richard Andrew Poplowski was a young man convinced the nation was secretly controlled by a cabal that would eradicate freedom of speech, take away his guns, and use the military to enslave the citizenry. He subscribed to conspiracy theories, and by July 2007, was posting photographs of his tattoos and white supremacy groups. Stormfront. Crazy to me is going through the notions. Crazy. It's sad that we've already went beyond his record of shooting these cops. Like the Dallas shooting of those cops by Michael Xavier, and another guy I'm thinking about, Las Vegas shooting. This is nothing. But this guy, I might do another video on him. This is an example of people who are out here. They do exist. They don't like the government. They don't trust the government. And if the president is openly doing stuff like this, openly saying stuff like this, that yeah, we're killing liberals. If you're really doing stuff like that, you're putting cops' lives in danger, man. I mean, really. You know what gets me also is I'm a socialist, and that means I'm supposed to be like, I hate the police, fuck the police, oh, I hate the cops. But I'm actively making it. I'm spending time out of my day to make a video, to make a warning about a political speech, political comments being made that may get law enforcement officers killed. But I'm a socialist, and the right would want you to think I hate cops. It's like I came out and talked about what's the guy, the Godfather's Pizza, the black guy that died of COVID. I talked about him because I don't want anyone to die of COVID. I don't feel joy in my heart when I read about that, even though he had mocked people wearing masks. I don't get joy out of these fucking dumbasses. You know what I mean? I don't feel bad for him or his family, but I didn't take no joy from that shit. That's sad, man. Dumbass. You've already had cancer treatment, which means your immune system is probably compromised. That's sad. And then even while he was lying in the bed dying, he's fighting for his life. And the people that work for him are using his social media to go out there and keep saying COVID isn't that big of a deal. And he wound up dying of it. It just shows you how devious and diabolical these people are, and that they'll use you until they use you up. They don't care. I don't take joy in that. I don't take joy in this guy killing these cops. I don't take joy in Trump coming out and talking about you know what I mean? And I guess what gets me also is the fact the crowd cheered that. This is why, coming to work up here, Trump signs everywhere. People be like, well, you just shouldn't be political. No, that's weakness. If you're telling me that people are actively celebrating presidential assassinations of American citizens, that's sick. That is deep sickness, and I am not on board with that shit. I think Dr. King said that we begin to die the day we stop caring about the things that matter. That's where I'm at. I am not attempting to lay down with dogs and devils who believe in using police power to take out political opponents. Because when does it end? When does it end? So you're saying now if the president wants to pass a bill and a congressman or something don't want to vote, well, he got him killed too? Where does it end? When does it end, folks? Come on. See, Richard Plasky had a Facebook account, talk about self-mutilation, Stormfront, economy face imminent collapse. I'm just gonna end it with this. That to me, what he's doing is dangerous. It's irrational. It's a radical act. And it's just like when Trump was riding in the car with the Secret Service. He's in a sealed car. He's sick with COVID. He's leaving the hospital before he needs to leave the hospital. And he's like, why? I release myself. I mean, I guess I thought conservatives were pro-military and pro-police. And they care about the military. And it's just that with Trump, he makes no pretense that, I've said it before, Trump is willing to kill everybody around him to show you how tough he is. Period. That's what Trump is. He's willing to kill everybody around him. Everybody can die. Everybody can go to hell and die just to show you how tough he is. And I never thought I would say that about a Republican. I never thought I would see that about a Republican president. Peace.